Hey guys, I'm Trisha Bowman. I'm a certified life and relationship coach here at Relish. And today I'm here to dish all about relationships because that's what we do here at Relish. And today is going to be no different. We're going to talk about the topic of an open relationship. And so first, before we get started, I want you to remember, if you want more great relationship content, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and please share our videos with your friends, family members, and anyone you think could use it. All right, so first let's start with the idea of what is an open relationship. That'll help kind of clear a lot of the air. So the technical definition of an open relationship really depends on the parameters set by the people involved, meaning you who are having the relationship. So really loosely defined, an open relationship is a relationship in which both the partners have the freedom to explore sexual and or romantic relationships with other people. So in practice, an open relationship can involve casual sex relationships, in addition to your primary relationship, or long-term, more romantic sexual relationships. Okay, so there's lots of variations here. So some people consider open relationships to be more of a form of polyamory, while others think of polyamory as more of a group relationship or marriage situation. So I want you to know, for our purposes today, distinguishing between the two of them is not necessary, but it's necessary for when you are going to have the conversation of what that looks like within your relationship. Okay, so they all have the same requirements, risks, and benefits. Also, I want you to remember that at any time during this or any of our videos, if you have questions or comments, please always feel free to share in our comments section below, and either myself or one of our coaches will be able to respond and answer more detailed questions about what you have, or if you want to just share to help others in the community. All right, so let's talk about the number one most important ingredient, and that's honesty. Okay, in general, it's the single most important element to having any emotional relationship. So it becomes even more necessary when you are in an open relationship. So in order for everybody to help settle into a relationship that you and your partner are comfortable with, you really must be honest about your emotional and your sexual needs. So not just one or the other. You also must be honest about the boundaries that you need to set in order to feel safe and secure in what you're exploring and in your relationship. So really learning to embrace your vulnerability and to tune into and really articulate your wants and needs. So even if the open aspect of your relationship doesn't necessarily work out, but prioritizing honesty in any and all relationships is extremely crucial to the longevity and overall happiness for both of you in the relationship, or if it's many people in the relationships. So, okay, let's talk about how do you approach this conversation with your partner. So if this is something you're thinking about, what are you going to do? So first, most important thing is to really evaluate why exactly you want an open relationship. Okay, and I'm going to go more into that in a minute. So, but once you know that and you feel comfortable with your reasoning, then it's really important to schedule or choose a time when you have a considerable amount of time to really sit and talk about these things over and really be open and honest with one another. And remember, it's important to have this conversation when you're both in a really neutral state of mind. So not after a big fight or bring it up because you're angry. So really in a thoughtful, calm manner, you should start by explaining to your partner what opening up a relationship, that it's been on your mind, what it means to you, and really reassure them that you've not acted on these ideas yet. If you hopefully you haven't, and when you bring it up, and really explain your justification for wanting to be open while still making sure you reassure them it is not due to their shortcomings or anything on their behalf. So when approaching openness, it's helpful to define what that term means to you, whether it's going to be sexually open or sexually and emotionally open to forming other relationships. So the most important part of this conversation is also giving your partner the time and the space they need to process this information, and allowing them to respond and answer their questions. Okay, and it's also really important that your partner feels comfortable saying no. So you shouldn't pose opening a relationship as an ultimatum to ending the relationship. All right, next, I really want you to make sure that you are doing it for the right reasons. So in an open relationships are the perfect solutions for people who feel that they want something more or something different from their monogamous relationship that they're currently in or maybe thinking about being in. So some people are not fully satisfied in monogamous relationships, and instead they really need the emotional or physical intimacy of more than one person to really fill and complete them or fill that void. So, or they just enjoy it. Other people look for open relationships because they really want to supplement their current relationship with something kind of new and different. Perhaps you're not fully satisfied in a straight or a traditionally straight or gay relationship, for example. So if this is the case, maybe opening up your relationship will offer different ways for you to explore and meet your sexual and emotional needs. So, okay, now let's talk about the flip side. You really should not start an open relationship to solve the problems that are currently in your relationship. Okay? These problems will not go away by opening your relationship and will likely be magnified if you add more people to the mix. All right, so more specifically, open relationships are not the solution to infidelity also. So open relationship require a huge amount of trust. So if your relationship is suffering due to infidelity or lack of trust, there's probably something more in the relationship that's going on, and this could be the downfall of your relationship if you transition into openness. And let's kind of start back in the beginning and restart the conversation from a different place. So now that we got out of the way, let's talk about how to do this thing. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make sure you set sexual boundaries. Make sure you create boundaries from the onset of this. Okay, so it's really important that this conversation is very explicit and it outlines exactly what's allowed and not allowed, what you're comfortable with, what your partner's not comfortable with. Are you open to penetrative sex? Is it okay to have oral sex, kissing? Experiment with things you haven't tried out together. Is that okay with you? Talking through these boundaries will also help you to hone in on what you want from this new sexual exploration and openness. Okay, next, discuss protection. Make sure you guys understand what the boundaries are with that. Also, set emotional boundaries. Are you comfortable with your partner going on dates with somebody else? What if they fall in love? Is that okay? Is sharing personal information about your relationship okay with this partner? Where are you at with that emotionally? So make sure you create really strong parameters that you can both agree and stick to. So also, I want to make sure you're making a game plan about how you're going to talk about this, about your relationship with one another. And also, how are you going to talk about it with other people? How much will you share with them? What are okay with not knowing? What are you okay with sharing with someone else? So make a game plan for how you're going to talk about this, again, with yourself and with others and with the people you're inviting into your relationship or into your relationship with yourself. So the other thing is really try to avoid lasting jealousy. So it's normal to feel a little bit of jealousy, but talk about it, process it, and let it go, because lingering jealousy will have a way to kind of seep in and really harm the relationship. Make sure you're checking in with each other often. Make sure you're all still okay with the current arrangements. So regular check-ins will be a vital part of really making this open relationship successful for both of you. And lastly, I want to share with you guys the benefits, what people have learned and shared and what scientists are saying. So most couples in an open relationship actually tend to have more sex with their primary partner as well as with other people. So, which can, strengthen your connection to one another. Definitely get those endorphins and feel good feelings out. Open relationships require a significant amount of trust, honesty, vulnerability, and communication. So those are relationship gold. So all these things are so important in a monogamous relationship or any relationship you're in. So investing in these things and really putting them and making an effort and making them a skill as your partnership is going to most likely improve and flourish, and so will the relationship and the connection. All right, I hope you really enjoyed today's content and got some great information, and that you feel much more clearer about how to have a healthy and safe open relationship, or understanding how others do it. So I really appreciate you being here, and if you'd like to create a stronger, happier, and healthier relationship, please make sure you click on the link below and you can try Relish free for 7 days. And if you like our content, please, I really appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, share, and as always, I love hearing from you. Thanks for being here.